If you have ever sat and wondered, am I charging too much or am I charging too little? This video is for you. Today we are talking about how to price your product or service, how to charge what you are worth with confidence. Pricing is one of those things that a lot of business owners get wrong. Not because they are not skilled, not because they are not working hard, but because nobody ever sat down and taught them how to actually price their work. So today I am going to walk you through exactly how to do that step by step in a way that is simple and that you can use no matter what trade or business you are in. Let's get started. Why does pricing matter? Pricing is a part of your business. It is not something you figure out after the fact. It is part of how you run your business. Now, there are 3 things I want you to understand about pricing. Number 1, your price should cover your costs. Your price must pay for your materials, your time, and any other cost that you incur. Number 2, ensure that you make a profit. A business needs profit to keep going and in order to grow. If you are not making a profit, you do not really have a business. What you have is a very expensive hobby. The third thing I want you to understand is that being busy is not enough. Having many sales does not help if every sale you lose money. You can be the busiest person in the trade, running from job to job, cutting here all day, laying tile all week, and still be losing money. Being busy does not mean you are profitable. So I want you to ask yourself, am I covering my costs? Am I making a profit or am I just being busy? Now, let's talk about the common mistake. Low prices. Why low prices can hurt your business? Charging too little may feel safe, but it can actually make your business hard to run. Most times, low prices are set out of fear. New owners may lower their prices because they feel unsure of themselves. They think if I charge too much, nobody will hire me. So they charge less out of fear, not because that is actually what the work is worth. Low prices also leads to burnout. Long hours and little profit can drain the owner. I want you to think about this. If you are working long hours for very little money, how long can you really keep that up? You will get tired. You will get frustrated. And some of you even want to give up business altogether. Not because your business idea is bad, but because the price was never right from the start. Low price is not always a win. Some customers may think a very low price means low quality. So while you think you are attracting more customers by charging less, you may actually be pushing away the customers who want quality because they assume cheap means bad. So I want you to ask yourself again, am I pricing from a place of fear or am I pricing from a place of confidence? Now that we understand why pricing matters and why pricing low can hurt your business, let's now talk about how to actually set your price. There are 3 methods that we will be discussing today, and you can use any one of them that fits your product or your service. Method number 1 is cost-based pricing. This is where you take into consideration what it costs you to make or to deliver your product or service, after which you will add a markup. The second method is value-based pricing. This is where you charge for the results and the value that you give to the customer. You are not just charging for your time. The third method we will be discussing is competitive pricing. Here, you research similar businesses to see their prices, and then you position your price in the marketplace. So let's break down each so you can understand how to use them exactly. Cost-based pricing. The formula is simple. Cost of production plus your markup equals your price. Let's break it down. Your cost of production includes your material or your supplies. It includes your labor or your time, and it includes your overhead costs. What is material and supplies? Your material and your supplies, this is what you buy to make or to deliver a product. Your labor or your time, this is the hours you work multiplied by the amount you would pay yourself per hour. And your overhead costs, these are your transportation costs, electricity, gas, phone, your data, things like those. All of these are your cost of production. So to your cost of production, after you add up everything that it costs you to make that product, you will then mark up. Your markup can be in a dollar figure or it can be in the form of a percentage. Let's say you are a carpenter and you are making a chair. All the materials that you will use to make that chair will be accumulated as your materials and your supply. The time that you use to make that chair, you will calculate how much you would charge for your time. The overhead cost would include any transportation cost that you would have incurred to carry those boards, any electricity you would have incurred to run the machines, the phone calls that you would have made to acquire the supplies or to the customer. All of these would add up to equal to your cost of production. This is how much it costs you to make that chair. Now, in order for you to make a profit, you need to add some additional amount to it. For you, you could say, well, I want to add 30% to the price that I have calculated, and that would be my selling price. Or you can say, I will add an additional $5,000 to it as my markup, and this would be my selling price. So your markup can either be in the form of a percentage, or you can simply add a dollar amount, which would be equal to your profit, and this, your cost of production, and your markup would be your selling price. Also, let us go back to Maria, which we did in our last video. Maria was our baker. Now, Maria bakes character cake for busy parents. So, when Maria is pricing a cake, she does not think about just the flour, the sugar, the eggs, and the packaging material. She also thinks about her time to actually decorate the character on the cake, her gas to deliver it, her electricity to bake it, and then she adds her markup on top of all of that. Now, if you are an electrician, you would do the exact same thing. Your materials, your wires, the outlets, the breakers, your labor, the hours you take to do the actual job. Your overhead would be the gas to get to the job site. your tools, your insurance. After you have add up all of those, that would be cost of production. And then you would now add a markup, the amount that you want for your profit on top of all of that. I want you to start with the real cost of doing the work and then your profit. This is what is called cost-based pricing. Now let's move to method number 2, value-based pricing. Here you charge for the result you deliver, not only for the time or for the materials. I want you to look at 3 examples with me. The first one is a tax consultant. Now, a tax consultant is not just charging $1,500 per hour. No, the tax consultant is charging for helping the client save $200,000. That is the value. So the cost will be based on the fact that they are helping you to save a lot of money. They will not be charging you $1,500 per hour. They will be charging you an amount that they think is valuable based on the fact that they are saving you $200,000. So let's say they might say they will charge you $10,000 because they are helping you to save $200,000 in your pocket. Another example that we use value-based pricing is wedding decorator. Now, the wedding decorator is not just charging for materials and time. The wedding decorator is charging for an unforgettable moment, bride's wedding day that she will remember for the rest of her life. And therefore, because the occasion is memorable, the costing will not just be for material or time to decorate the place and to let it look good. No, you're going to be charged a price that is going to help you to remember this occasion for a very long time. Now, a business coach is not just charging you for a session. The business coach is charging you for the progress that you have made and for the transformation that the person's business and life will be encountering. So there is a difference between the cost base and the value base. In value base, the customer pays for the value that they receive, not just for hours you spent or for materials you use. So I want you to ask yourself, what result am I actually giving my customer? If you are a hairstylist, are you just cutting hair, or are you giving somebody confidence to walk in a room and feel beautiful? If you are a landscaper, are you just cutting grass, or are you giving a homeowner a yard that they are proud to invite their family to? That, friend, is value-based pricing. Now let's talk about method number 3, competitive pricing. This is where you choose your place in the market. The first thing you must do here is research. Look at similar businesses, both nearby and online. What are they charging for the same product or the same service that you are offering? Once you have done your research, then you position yourself. You have 3 choices to position yourself. You can price below the market, you can price to match the market, or you can price of the market. Now, the best choice here depends on your market, your quality, and the customer promise that you are making. But I want you to hear this clearly. Do not race to the bottom. Do not get into the habit of always trying to be the cheapest one out there. Instead, I want you to compete on value, on quality, on trust, not on price alone. Because if you are always racing to have the lowest price, somebody will always be able to go lower than you. And then where does that leave you? Working harder for less money with a business that cannot survive. So research first, then choose your price on purpose, not out of fear. Now, I want to talk to you about the mindset that you need to develop when it comes to your pricing. Your prices should be set based on the value you are giving your customers. They should not be set out of fear. Hear this. You are not begging, you are offering value. You are offering a real solution. Your product or your service solves a real problem for real people. And if you find your right customer, remember our video where we talked about knowing your customer. The right customer will pay you for value that you provide. If someone is not willing to pay for what your work is worth, that may not be your right customer. You should develop a standard for your business whereby your competition is not only based on price. Use quality, trust, and use good customer service to stand out above the rest in the marketplace. When you understand the value that you bring, you will stop apologizing for the prices that you charge for your product and your service. Here is something that a lot of business owners forget to do. Business owners often forget to review their prices regularly. I want you to put this number in your mind, 6. Every 6 months, you should be reviewing your prices. Here are 3 reasons why you should be reviewing your prices. Number 1 is that costs are constantly rising. Your supplies, your transportation, your power, the data that you use may even change in 6 months. The second reason why you need to review your prices is that your skills grow. Your experience can make your work more valuable. You are not the same beginner you were a year ago. You have gotten faster, you have gotten better, and you are more skilled. And therefore, your price should reflect that. The number 3 reason is that value grows. Your customer may be receiving more from your service now than they did when you first started. So a regular review helps your price stay fair for you and also for your customer. I want you to go and I want you to put a price review date on your calendar right now. Do not wait until you are frustrated or burnt out to realize that your prices are too low. Put a date on your calendar to review your prices. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us bring it all together. It's all about knowing your worth and charging your worth. Clear costs, real value leads to confident pricing. A strong business starts with a price that supports the work. Let me leave you with the scripture from Proverbs 31, verse 18. And it says, she makes sure her dealings are profitable. And I want you to hear that. Her dealings are profitable. not busy, not just working hard, profitable. That is what I want for you and your business, for you to be profitable. If this video helped you, I want you to hit the like button. I want you also to subscribe for more videos like this one, and check out our next video where we will go even deeper in learning how to run profitable businesses. This has been Shevena Cameron-Tracey, APS School of Business. Go take action and God bless you.